Hello and welcome back to the Stepping Into Yourself podcast. I'm your host, Tori Stauffer, and today I have a very special guest, Miss Brooklyn Grotte. We met a year ago now at Creative Educators and reconnected at a conference I guess it was a long time. It's like 6 months ago probably now. Maybe not.
Would
I
have
don't know.
been.
I have zero concept of time. But yeah, now I am doing all my ads with you. So it's so
Amazing.
exciting to have you here. Welcome. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here.
Thank you so much. You've just become one of my favorite humans too. So besides the fact that ads, like I feel like we've just hit it off and we have so many commonalities and it's just been this like cool business relationship turned friendship, and thanks for having me on.
Of course, always. I would love for you to just share a little bit about your story, and we're going to go deeper into it, but just share, get to know you a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, where should I start? I guess I'll just backtrack of kind of like how I got started with my own business. I went to college for photography and communication, got my Bachelor of Arts degree, and I photographed pretty much everything. I started with weddings and did real estate and families and newborns, brands. And then in 2020, I built my photo studio and I went 20K in debt on the build, and then I didn't book a client for 6 months. And so coming out of that, because of the lovely pandemic, I needed to get creative with getting clients. And for context too, for people listening or watching, I live in a town of 1,300 people, so very rural, small town Minnesota, and the closest Target is an hour and a half away. So I needed to get creative with me either driving to clients or getting people to come to me at my new studio. So I turned to ads. And first I hired an agency, spent a lot of money, lost a lot of money, didn't see much results. And I got a little bit, I was kind of frustrated that they didn't work because, it's like you hire the experts, it'll be done right. But I wanted to get them to work, and so I got really scrappy and I just started watching YouTube videos and finding resources, downloading things, learning from anybody I could on setting them up. And I started with really small $5 a day ads, and they started to work. And I started to get clients, and using just, with the budget I had, those small ads, I was able to scale my photography business to 6 figures. And then I began teaching other photographers how I was scaling my photo business. And you would get this because you've done photography for so long too. Like, I always came back, I thought it was like the principles of my photography business. I was like doing the in-person sales or offering the ups, like that is what was profitable. But really, it was how I was booking the clients and that I was able to bring in consistent clients is how I scaled my business. So anyways, long story long, I pivoted into helping photographers run ads because that became clear that that's like what I was using to get clients. And then slowly I decided that, well, I really like ads. And I created an ads course specifically teaching what I had been doing, what was working. And my ads course took off. There's over 300 students that have gone through it now. And that was less than 8 months ago that I launched that. No, about just
That's it?
10 months, because it was after Creative Educator Conference
That's
that I launched.
crazy.
Yes, is when I started with my course. And then it snowballed so fast. And then after the course, I had so much interest and people were asking me to set up their ads and run their ads for them. So I was like, sure, I'll do that. And pretty soon there became more and more requests for that and full management and creative and everything. And so I started hiring people to help. And now we've got a full-blown agency. And now I'm no longer a photographer. I closed my studio and I manage ads for 7 to 9 figure business owners. I have a team of 6 and I do education, where you're in my space for out of office. And I have resources to help people get started with ads, but it's completely evolved from kind of this one woman show doing photography now into helping businesses scale with ads, managing millions a month in ad spend. Like it's crazy and it's so fun.
That's amazing. And it is funny sometimes to hear somebody's timeline, because like I know you as like, yes, I met you as a branding photographer, but like I know you as like the queen of ads, right? And so I hearing that that course was only 8 to 10 months ago is insane when you think about the growth you've had, like it's just amazing, and also like gives so much permission to so many women out there, you know?
Yeah. It's it's crazy because I never thought that this would be possible for me. Like would see it happen for other people, but it never felt like something. It just felt like a far off thing to be able to scale a business to multi six figures and on track for 7 in 6 months. Like it's just happened so fast, and then when it starts happening for you, like, and I don't share this to brag, I just share it as like perspective of like when it starts happening too, like it's a rapid growth, and everything that I've gone through in the last 13 years of running a business, and even just the patience that you have to have, and the what's the term, like the
Capacity.
yeah, and perseverance to be able to keep going even when it's not the massive success that you had pictured yet. Yeah, it's been quite the ride.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's exactly what I work with women on too. Is I remember when we were together for the conference in November, you were at this moment of something really huge had just happened in your business, and you were really like, this was when it was like about to just open up and explode. And you were also holding, I hope it's okay that we can always edit this out if you don't want this in here.
Yes,
You were also
absolutely.
at the moment of, you had tough decisions to make.
Yeah.
And you were like, can I handle this, which is being asked of me? And you were really being very intentional of sitting with it and deciding, what is this going to look like for my family, for my kids, for me? Like, what does this look like? And most women will step back out of fear, or, well, who am I to do that? I've only been running ads for this amount of time. I've only been teaching ads for this amount of time. Who am I to step in and do that? And you didn't let that happen. You were like, let's go. Let's do this. It's funny because I saw you in November, and then I joined out of office. And so like I started seeing you regularly in January, and the difference in you from November to January was insane.
Thank you for reflecting that to me, because I feel it, but it's hard to, when I'm the one evolving, I'm not necessarily looking from the outside in. And so it's like, thank you for saying that, because I have felt a huge shift, and just, I mean, in so many ways, like not even just how I'm managing my business, but like I feel even how I carry myself, how I approach situations, and I mean, I've also failed a lot too. So it's not like I always get it right, but I just like, there's something that's clicked this year. And I think I'm finally in the lane that I love. I'm delivering a service that's really needed and useful, and it's getting women results. And I'm so passionate about it all. And I think it goes back to everything you're teaching and what you do too. Like, it's embodiment. It's like having the holistic approach where everything is working together. My husband's super supportive, and he helps, the scheduling allows me then to feel like I can be in my zone and go when I need to go and ramp, and scale. Because without that support, I wouldn't feel like I'd have the freedom to do what I need to do. And that's more personal side, right? But like, I know your approach is really whole picture. But yeah, even just from November last year, and even the decision, it's funny you bring that up, because I can think back to like the decision I was sitting with then being very different and in a different world, kind of like it wasn't necessarily like, if I would have said yes to that, I wouldn't be in the place I am today. So like being able to have that conversation with you, and like, yeah, it's been a very, very wild ride.
You talk about the support at home. That's one of the things that has been crucial for my success as well. And it is just having someone that supports every piece of you. You talk about the passion. And what I really truly believe is we get stuck sometimes in doing what we should do. You built this photography business. You built out this studio. You spent all this money on a build out. I don't know how many years of photography you did, but you poured into it. And there is this thing in the back of your brain of, I can't just close this and jump into something that I have zero, technically credibility on. This is new. Right. Who on earth would do this? But it's when we follow those passions and that excitement that is when things really explode. And you are like a prime example of that.
Thanks. Yeah. And it's like, I'm so passionate about like learning more about it. And I know it's just a strange topic for some. Like some people like run the opposite way when they think about ads. They're like, no, thank you. I don't want to sit and worry about click-through rates and return on ad spend and like, no thanks. But to me, it's so many pieces of it come together, like the creative aspect. And I pull that from my photography too, of like what looks good. And then the messaging, and with my communication degree, understanding buyer psychology, there's pieces there that fall into place. And I mean, I was in advertising competitions in college. And so we did campaigns for like Pizza Hut and big brands. And it was always just like thrilling to me to compete on something like that. So there's like that piece in me that likes to like be the best. And I think with ads, it allows you to, you're constantly in competition with yourself because you're trying to get better results. You're trying to like make more sales or get more leads or like, and it's like all these pieces that I enjoy, and putting it all together in a way that actually scales businesses or helps women be able to like be more present with their family, because they don't have to be posting 24/7. Like you can schedule a couple posts, turn those into ads, and allows you to have the life you want, because ultimately that's the goal. Like the money's great, but it's what the money allows you to have really that's more important.
Yeah. Well, I always tell people, like, when you're focusing everything on the money, you're going to make choices that are not the right choice, right? Because you're doing something of like, what should I do to do X, Y, and Z? But when you're really moving out of passion, moving out of purpose, moving out of helping people, money becomes the byproduct. It becomes like the evidence of the success as opposed to what you're chasing.
Yeah, 1000%. And it becomes like, I mean, I have a poster up in my office here with all my clients on it. And it becomes like, how do I get them bigger wins? Like, how do we optimize things? How do we like, was it 2 nights ago? And I know I've done this with you too. I saw this ad pop up, and there was a lady in out of office that would be perfect for it. We had just had her one-on-one, and I sent her the inspo. So I was like, this would be a perfect ad for your offer. You should turn this in, like little things like that will pop up that I am, because I'm invested in it and I know my clients, I know my ladies so well, like it is so fun for me because it's not just a business. It's like actually helping people with their, like, I don't know. I get more connected, I guess.
Yeah, I will say, like, in speaking with you at that conference in November, I was like, I'm in I don't even know what I'm going to run an ad on, Brooklyn, but I'm in. And I'm so glad I did it. The way you understand ads, the way you nerd out in the cutest way over ads, and you're like, well, if we look at this and this, I'm the same way about stuff. Mm-hmm. But you just make, like, the way you do it is in a way that becomes so easy. Like it's not complicated, and you like allow us to come into it one step at a time. So like when we're first getting set up, we're like just doing the basics, and we learn that, and it's like, oh, that's like actually really easy. It's not as complicated as everybody's making it sound. And honestly, it kind of makes sense that a lot of these agencies are making it sound complicated so that you have to use them. Absolutely. But you broke it down, and it was you weren't lying. It was literally $5 a day. Yeah. And I got like, I mean, I went from 300 people on an email list, which, listen, is not a lot. It's fine. But I got another 100 people in like 2 weeks. It was insane. And it was just it was like little tweaks. And then I know that when I'm ready for like, okay, let's go a little deeper, I'm ready for this next thing, you're there to help me build that out a little bit more. But it is the way you do it, and then the community too, like the women in that group. We just came off of the retreat. We went to Scottsdale, Arizona, and you found this insane house. We got branding video done, we got branding photos done, but then also like the community and just being there with these really high level 6, 7, and there's like 8-figure women in the circle just pouring into each other. It was one of the best experiences ever. It was incredible.
I'm so thank you for saying that. And I felt the same way just being there. Like I think when my vision too with Out of Office when I first launched it, it was yes to give ad strategy and help you along, but also having this high standard so that everybody coming in can benefit from each other. And then when you get them all in a room, I mean, it can go either way, right? You don't know until you're all together under one roof, staying together for a couple nights. Like, you don't know if personalities will clash or what, but like everybody
Or like if you
meshed.
accidentally open up the door on somebody sleeping in the middle of the night.
And she still is coming to the next retreat. Didn't scare her
I
off.
was looking for the movie theater. It's not my fault.
It was an honest mistake. We thought it was the movie theater. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna die. Well, I mean, and that goes to show you too. Like, I'm gonna spill some tea, but like, you've announced to our group the next retreat, and you've already sold out half the retreat, and it was like in 24 hours. That says a lot. That like everybody who was there is like, let's go, let's go.
Yep. And I don't care if it's 7 months, 8 months away, like we're doing it. And I wanted it to give everybody the opportunity that we're in originally too, because you guys are kind of the OGs since we opened doors again. And yeah, I'm really excited. I don't know what the big vision is. Like, I know that that's something I've sat with, but I am letting this just become what it becomes for now because I love all the women in it, and it's a big reason why I did affiliate now for you guys is because I want more women that you trust and enjoy being around to be in the space as well. And I want it to grow, yes, with ads, obviously, but more so organically in a sense that it becomes a space that everyone collectively gets to build together and gets a lot out of. And I mean, like you said, we're sitting around the pool and we talk about ads, but we're also like talking about human design, and we're talking about like what's our big vision goals for things and like what's holding us back. And then we got Dustin going in and you going in on mindset and, like just changing the way you're thinking about things. And like we've got fertility dietitian, like we've got so many different types of businesses, and yet we've all like, it's just such a cool group to be a part of. I'm obsessed with all of you.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a testament too to like what you've created. You said something about not having the full vision for it. And I think that's where so many people get stuck, is that they don't take the next step because they can't see the full vision. They can't see the how, right? But that's not our job. Our job is to like trust and take the next step. And so you're doing that exactly, right? Is this one went well, let's host another one, right?
Yeah.
But it's having the faith that I'm going to be led in the right direction, and to just take that step. It's like that Indiana Jones movie where like he can't actually see the bridge, but he's just like 1 foot in front of the other. Is like, all right, it's just, and that's the scariest thing when you are building a soul-led business, is that you can't see the whole thing because it's ever evolving, and you just have to move with it as it moves, But that's how people become more successful, is by trusting it and moving when they have to move, and not staying stuck because they're holding so tight to fear, really.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, the more you fail, it seems like the more comfortable you get with knowing that you can also succeed. Like, it's like you prove it to yourself that's like, okay, this is a normal part of trying. Like, failing comes with it. And so not that you're looking to fail, but like I'm not, I mean, I've launched programs where nobody joins. I've put out offers that flop. I've ran ads that are, a complete waste of money. And so like while it would be easy to focus on those things and then let that stop me or be like, well, guess it's not for me, or like, oh, I had one bad return on ad spend, I guess I shouldn't run ads. Like that would be silly because it's like we all have to keep trying in order to succeed at whatever we want to do. But I think with launching and even like what you're doing, like you are faithfully just taking the next step, following your passion, following what you're really good at and what you're lit up about, and trusting yourself in it. Maybe that's, I guess if I have to go deeper, you're so good at going deeper too. So I'm not surprised this is where the podcast
My
is.
favorite place to be, Brooklyn.
I know. Like,
Well, it's funny, like you call it failure, but if you're talking to an ads client, it's not a failed ad, it's data. So I
exactly.
stopped looking at things as I'm winning or I'm failing, and I looked at it like either it's a huge win or I'm getting data to get to the huge win. And
Yep.
there is no failure.
No. And you have to have the numbers to make the right decisions with ads specifically. Like, you don't want to just go with what you think is going to work. You want to test it, and then because the numbers will show you if people are clicking, if they're not, if it's a good, it's going to drive sales or not. And then it kind of takes the emotion out of it. But I think through it all, honestly, the biggest shift the past year has been feeling like I can trust myself, like actually trust myself to make decisions, trust myself in capabilities to deliver for clients, for like to be able to help you ladies in out of office, and trust that I'll find an answer, or if I don't have the answer, or I will help, like learn or whatever what might be that would keep me back or would stop me from doing it, to trust myself to be able to do that. And I don't think I could have said that a year ago.
When you're going into something new, there's a lot of feelings that start coming up, fears, self-doubt, especially when it's something like you haven't been like doing for a really long time or have a lot of like street cred on.
Yeah.
How did you handle those feelings?
I honestly, I was in my head a lot about it. And it even, what I dug into was how I got started as a photographer, because I had went through similar feelings, of like being inadequate, who's going to pay me for this, like all of those startup things we go through of, and then you build past that, and like you were just thriving, super successful photographer. And so you understand, like, when you're at that caliber, you have overcome all those feelings. So to some degree, I tapped into that because I had the proof that I was able to build something from a skill that I built all on my own. And I got to a place where I was making good money with it. And so I trusted myself that with ads, this is a skill that I can push through. And like, yes, I am going to be the beginner. I'm going to be seen as the newbie because it's the price of entry, like I can't get around that. And also it became an advantage because I was the new kid on the block. And so I'm doing things with ads that aren't maybe conventional. I'm running $5 a day ads. I'm not saying you have to start with 10K budgets, and I'm doing maybe things that, because I didn't have the traditional ad agency experience coming from the structure everything this way, I kind of took a like, it's almost like the Sarah Blakely approach to when she launched Spanx. It was like she just did it her own way, and that was the thing that made her so innovative and so unique. And
Yeah.
so, not that I'm Sarah Blakely by any means,
Yeah.
but like just
Yeah.
having, yeah. We'll see. Yeah. I need to get her sneaks, by the way. I don't know how I feel about those.
Sneakers?
Yeah,
Stop
the
it.
like sneak heels, and I
So
don't know.
weirdly, so my first like big girl job was I was a manager at Nordstrom, a hosiery department. So like I know me some, it was like when Spanx was like relatively new and blowing up. So I love me some Sarah Blakely.
That's so cool. I had no idea. That's cool.
That's where I get all my customer service from. Like that's my whole background in
Natural.
client experience is
Wow.
from my years at Nordstrom.
Yeah, I could see you'd be incredible there.
It was fun. And I got really good discount.
I bet. Oh, even better. I would spend my whole paycheck, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know, those feelings never truly go away, I don't think, because there's
Isn't
always
that funny?
somebody that is doing better than you.
Well, honestly, it was the exact same thing for me. It was being faced with this, like, who am I to do it? And I'm like, hold on. I've already worked through this block. I've already worked through this mindset shift. Why is it coming back up? Those ones in us that are the deepest beliefs that we have to shift will keep coming back up every time there's a new opportunity. And so you just have to get good at learning how to shift that belief. And I wound up shifting it in a very similar way, was realizing when I decided to transition from teacher to photographer. I decided I was a photographer, and then I called myself a photographer, and then people started seeing me as a photographer. And then when I decided to go into branding photography, same thing. I didn't have like a huge portfolio. I just decided, called myself, I identified as it. But then when I was going into this coaching and mentorship space, it took me 2 years to make that jump, because I was like, who am I to call myself X, Y, or Z? And it was that aha moment of every time you've ever done this, you've identified and shown people what you are before there's proof. And that is the proof. So it's so interesting that yours was the exact same. We're so similar.
Wow, that is. And it's right on, because when you explain it like that, that's what I did. I just didn't have the understanding or the words or ability to recognize that. Because it's exactly right. Like, I identified as an ad expert before people saw me as an ad expert. I identify as an agency owner before people, and then they started understanding, oh yeah, and then people come to me for it.
Yeah, and it's not like we're pretending to be it.
No.
It's like we know in our
We're
body
just stepping
we
into it
are
fully.
there.
Yep.
Nobody sees us yet, but until we claim it, no one is going to see it. So we have to. We have to
Yeah.
be the first to see it in ourselves, or no one else is ever going to.
Right. Yeah.
So what was your scariest moment along the way?
Oh, goodness. I have a very clear moment that happened, ironically, when I was folding laundry. And you'll probably understand this from a mindset perspective too. I was just doing a mindless task, and it was after a creative educator conference, and I had launched my ads course, so that was out in the world. And I was still like holding on to the studio. I was still booking clients, but I was starting to lose my love for it, and I was like dreading when inquiries would come in. But I didn't have the proof yet that ads was going to work. Like, I didn't have the list of clients. I didn't have people knocking down my door to work with me. I didn't have the 9-figure businesses that have full marketing teams and stuff like ready to go. Like, I didn't have that yet, but I was folding laundry, and I very vividly had this thought of, what if you just give yourself 6 months and go all in on ads? And I was like, all right. I don't know. Like, in that moment, I was like, why not? Like, just give myself. And I think it was my mind too of being like, okay, well, I have an out. Like, if for some reason this doesn't work, right? Like, I've got this safety net. But it was more so I just needed to decide for myself that I was like, okay, 6 months, we're going to go all in. And I remember telling my mindset coach that too, because I sent her a voice memo and I said, what do you think if I just like go all in on ads for 6 months and see what happens? And she's like, oh, I love that. But it was that moment probably that was the scariest, or like the month after that, because I had decided that I was going to be done taking photography clients then. And I knew that my studio would have to close, and that identity a bit that I've built with it, all of the guilt of all the money I'd put into it at the time, kind of what you were talking to earlier. And then knowing that I was capable of helping people with ads at any level, and knowing like the skill base, like I understood how the algorithm works. I know the numbers, I knew all that, but I didn't have a clear idea yet of what it was going to be. that was probably the scariest.
I can relate so much.
Yeah. Are you feeling a bit in that or?
Um, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm very much in this moment where I know where I'm being called, but I have, I've been a photographer for 15 years, you know. So much of who I am has been wrapped up in this, but I also know that I am being called to help women experience and have the shift that I did. I did it by burning my life to the ground because I had the ability to do that, right? When somebody goes through cancer and they come out the other side, no one questions when you pick up your entire life and move to Florida. They're like, oh, yeah, it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But like I've learned how to do it without burning your life to the ground. And I've learned how it's just, I feel so called to help women chase this dream that they didn't even think was possible, because it opens you're like literally one of the people that embodies it so much of what's possible when you trust yourself and you move forward into the unknown and just do the damn thing. Because I mean, I am so excited to go to creative educators literally in days and have people see you from like last year you and this year you. You're an entirely different person while still being the same person, if that makes any sense
Yeah. Yeah.
whatsoever.
It feels great. And then like even physically, right? Like lost 60 pounds, so I look different. I just feel like I'm a completely different person. Like my business is like it is wild. And really that is kind of where it all started. Like that it was those conversations. It was like the confidence I got through being in that room and not even realizing that I was needing something like that. Like I went very last minute. I had to message Laylee because tickets were closed or she had like one last minute thing. And I was like, I really feel like I should go. Like I want to be at this conference and I don't know why, but I should go. I haven't even told Laylee this story. So yeah, it's weird how then now you look back, it's not weird. It's how it was meant to be. But then, like you and I meet and our friendship turns into what it is, and even like our conversations and then being together in November, which was so bizarre. Like we didn't plan that and we both ended up there.
Yeah.
Happenstance.
Interesting place.
Yeah, wouldn't go again.
I will say though, like for any listeners out there, if you're not getting in the room, that is where the shifts are happening.
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
Like
100%.
I feel that about Creative Educator last year. I feel that about your retreat. Even the one where we met up at, and the conference itself wasn't the thing.
Okay, right,
It was
no.
the people. It was
Yep.
like you and I at Creative Educator last year met and spoke for maybe 5 minutes in lobby chats.
No,
Right?
yeah.
We weren't like, we followed each other, but we didn't interact.
No.
And then when we saw that we were going to the same conference in November, we connected and wound up like spending the whole weekend together. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And what has blossomed from that and the shifts, it's getting in the room. It's continuing to put yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to spend thousands of dollars to go to a conference. It can be a networking event. It can be just connecting with somebody on socials and like meeting up, but make the connection, because I think running your own business can be such an isolating thing.
Absolutely.
And that's where so many people fail, is that they're not making the connections that help take them to that next level and help open their mind, and being around other women who are, yes, do more of that, yes, and not like, oh, I don't think that's going to work. That sounds bad.
Or like, what if that doesn't work? Or what if you, like, it's seeing all the negative. I mean, yes, you want someone to call you on your shit, frankly, but like, you're not, like, the women in these type of rooms have seen so many things bigger than any of us. So it's like their life experience then comes back to be like, no, actually, it's okay if you fail. It's okay. Like, that's not worst case.
Yeah.
To most of these women, it's like, no big deal. It's another Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, my favorite place to be is the room where I'm the dumbest person in the room.
Isn't it amazing?
Yes.
And
I
you
love
just sit
it.
there and like absorb everything. And you're like, teach me your ways. Like, how did you do that? It's the best.
And the people who are going to those rooms are so eager to share
Oh
their
yeah.
knowledge and experience. And so it's not even like you're like, it's just like free. Well, not free, but it's like just the gift of,
Yeah.
it's so amazing.
It's really cool. I agree.
Who's your go-to for keeping you grounded? Like for me, I'll go to my husband and be like, I have this crazy idea. Is this too crazy? Because he'll be like, either yes, go for it, or like, well, let's look at the finances on that before we go doing that. Who's your person?
My husband, he's also super grounded. He's like, which I need, honestly, right? Like,
Me too.
and
We're the
yet we
creatives.
like, yeah, exactly. We're creatives. And also we need like I need a you too in my life. Like I need like the women in our world too because they're in our bubble that are building and doing and they have the visions and they're passionate about it. And also I need the hubby who's like his passion is not that and he loves me and I know that any advice comes from a good place. And so it's like no, we're going to keep you stable here, let you go fly here, but you can always come back. Like I would definitely say it's my hubby.
Yeah. And I agree with what you were saying too, is like you almost need expanders.
Yeah.
People who will
Yes.
like
That's it.
push you beyond your
Yeah.
limits of what
Yep.
you think is possible and for someone to be like, "Well, what about that?" And you're like,
Right.
"Oh,
Yeah.
yes, please, more of that."
Right. And have the skill set too. Like I'm meeting with a couple possible like integrators now for our business to go bigger and like somebody to come in alongside me and see the gaps that I don't see or I'm too busy to see. And so it's like and not even necessarily that my goal is just to scale. It's more so to scale so I don't burn out and that I scale with a purpose so that as we're getting in the flow of having extra and like what does that look like beyond me? How do we give back? How do we, build a team right now? I love the women under me and like no, I shouldn't even say under me. They're beside me because they're incredible in their fields and they add to our agency. And it's just like how do we grow? And so I love having people that can come in or that you can get perspective from, in conversation, just to expand your way of thinking.
Well, that's another thing too, is the caliber of people that you have on your team is insane. Like, you need to do a podcast episode on that, how to recruit people like that, because that was, find an agency podcast somewhere. They want that
Like,
info.
how do you get those people? Yeah, I
Yeah,
can I
you were
can
telling me about
share.
it, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I
Yeah,
can.
how do you do it?
I mean, the how is through people. It's through connections. It
Get in the
wasn't.
room.
It wasn't a job board. It wasn't a Fiverr post or Upwork post. It was all somebody that I knew that had a connection that thought would be a good fit that sent them my way, or somebody I knew that I reached out to because of relationships and trust that they had somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so our two graphic designers, which I told you, do you want me to share who's on our
Well,
team?
that's up to you. I don't want like. I mean,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, I can share where they came from. So one of them was Amy Porterfield, senior graphic designer for 6 years. So she's now graphic designer for all of our ads clients. She's incredible. And then the other one came from Tonic Site Shop, also a senior graphic designer, incredible. And so our caliber of design team is just next level. Like I trust them to the ends of the earth. They're quick. They're good. Like they're so good. And yeah, we've got a strategist who does funnel optimization, who came from a very well-known marketing agency, and everything from ad to email conversion, like monthly promo offers and with retargeting campaigns, and like that's her jam. And she is like the spreadsheet queen. She is insane in the best way. And we get to bring her to every single one of our agency clients. And like, it's just such a great group. We got copywriter, we've got another media buyer. Like, it's so good.
I mean, which is crazy. If like anybody had seen the conversation that we had at that Asian restaurant in November, where you're like, I don't know if I want to manage a team.
I know.
It's like crazy. That was November and it is March. Like that is
4 months and we've got
Yeah.
6 people and it's like, yeah, I know. I don't I'm also looking for I'm in chats with for a video editor to add that too. Yeah, I like just things that are happening. Now we've got AI, and so like Friday, I'm going to set up a whole agentic AI for my agency to streamline. Like it'll be end to end, so that we can leverage. And that's just more of the. It's not the actual writing and the making. It's all of the processes. So it's uploading the ads, it's like pulling reports, it's sending the reports. It's like to automate all the things that are the busy work so that all of us people can stay in our zones of genius so that we can have the real photos coming in. Like we don't use AI photos of people. We use AI for maybe like product shots, but we don't use it for and I think that that's a big part of personal brands. So anyways, it's getting in the weeds a bit, but
That's
it's
amazing.
so much fun.
Well, the name of this podcast is Stepping Into Yourself, and it really comes to what I teach on is having for me, it's like my highest self, like a version of myself that is at my absolute best, right? Some people have that, some people don't. Is that something that you have? Like, do you have a version of yourself in your head that's like the best version of you?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's in this past year, I've taken big steps to get there. Like the last year vision of me to this year vision of me, like, and yes, my vision always shifts, right? But it's like the who am I person from what I look like to what I'm wearing to the things I'm doing to my environment, like all of those things. Like last year, and I can be honest with you, like it was a huge priority for me to lose weight. And it wasn't just the physical, but it was like it dominoed into everything of my life, of how I saw myself, of my energy with my kids, with everything. That was, the vision of me that's my best self is somebody who feels really good in her skin and just feels like capable of whatever, of going on a hike if I want, or like it's not a problem. And so I feel like I'm taking steps to become that person. And I think more so beyond just like our appearance and like the physical things, like my highest version of me is like has something for our family that they can live off of and that they can go pursue their dreams and feel capable of doing whatever they want. And like I definitely do have that version.
Do you have any tools that you use to connect to that version to like help you stay in that energy?
Oh, I feel like I could use your help here because not really. Like honestly, I have my mindset coach. She's been key for me in my business growth, and I've worked with her for 2 years, 3 years now. And I've had she's a secret weapon in my experience. So somebody like you, honestly, like is key for, in my like at least from my perspective. Like it
Do
helps
you
me tap
think
in.
you would have, do you think you would have done the things you did and made the moves you made without having support like that
Nope.
behind the scenes?
Nope. I wouldn't have because it was a mindset shifts to feel capable of myself and like believe myself. And just like I was saying earlier, like being able to trust myself, I would have never had the skills or had the perspective from somebody else um, to build that without no. So I know I wouldn't. I would still likely be in my studio. I'd probably still be charging $300 a session, and I would be thinking I'm happy with that because it's all I would have known.
Isn't that interesting too that like it's so often that like we like our life, we love our life, we're happy, but we don't even realize that there's this whole other world that's possible and available. And once somebody opens that door, it's just, it blows your mind.
Yeah,
And
and
you
it's
want to
like
bring everybody else along to the ride, you know what I
exactly. And there's no going back because you don't want
mean?
to. And like in a weird way that I feel like that's kind of what ads has done for me. like not just for my business, but it's like it's allowed everything to grow faster, quicker, like follower count. I just went back and looked. I think I've gained 6,000 followers in the last year. And I was stuck at whatever, like 2,000 for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And then I got over to 10. Like, and I know that's just a vanity metric, but it's like,
It's not though. It's how you get people in your doors.
yeah, yeah. And so it's like it's all kind of snowballed in a way, but it's just, yeah, when you're in it, you don't maybe see it for what it is until you kind of come out the other side of it. And it's times like these too, like it's good for me to just have conversations where I step back and look and yeah, I mean, I could talk to you all day, so.
I think we always have to step back and look and like appreciate the former version of ourselves because that's who got us here. That's who gave us permission to do what we're doing now. And so many people like hate an older version of ourselves, but like we really have to be so appreciative and occasionally just stop and say thank you.
That's, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, I've walked through that some, and I've got such I know you know my history to some degree too of where I came out of, and like for those listening, very strict religious group. But just my lifestyle shifts and my identity work then that had to shift to catch up to who I was. Like it all comes together because you can't have those like having somebody like you that would have the skills and the understanding of how to rework your mindset and how to, like you were saying, it comes down to being able to shift it in that moment. I didn't know that that's what I needed. Like I had no clue, and I didn't even know it was possible. Like you're kind of stuck in your own bubble, and so you see it for what it is. And then you have somebody else come in and be like, wait, but what if you think of it this way? Or can you do this practice? Or can you do this thing? Or like actually go sit and make a proof bank of the 20 things that actually disprove this. Like it's stuff like that cumulatively has stacked up to the big shifts.
That's amazing. Well, doors for Out of Office are officially open. So Brooklyn, tell us everything about it. What do we need to know?
Well, it's one of my favorite spaces on earth, and it's where you are in it, and we've got 18 women in right now. It's for 6 and 7 figure female entrepreneurs. You can have any type of business, and the core factor is that you want to learn how to use ads. And so we cover everything meta ads, from strategy to creative to funnel optimization to messaging, and it's just going to continue evolving, I guess you want to say. Like it's a group that grows with the people in it. And so there's education. We have monthly group calls. There is Slack channel support for 2 weeks of the month. You can drop any and all questions, and I'm in there answering them directly. You can book discounted one-on-one calls with me at any time, and allows you to have access to me at a much lower price than ever needing an agency. And yes, doors are open right now. So we have them open until April 13th is when doors close.
Amazing. And I will have a link to it below here for you to join. I will say, like, I've done all of it. The way you are so communicative in the Slack, people are always like, hey, Brooklyn, this is what I'm looking at, and you just make these little tweaks. And then I've hopped on those one-on-one calls with you too, where you set up, I was having trouble with the audience, and you just helped me set it up, and I'm like good to go now. Like I just can base everything off of that. So, and then also we are going to Palm Springs in December. So I'm already signed up. There's already 10 of us signed up for this retreat. It's going to be incredible. Are you open to sharing about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And depending on when this airs, if spots will still be available or not, it is limited. There's only 4 bedrooms left as a time of recording, and we're capping the off-site tickets as well. So limited availability, but it's going to be in Palm Springs. It's a 3-night all-inclusive retreat. We've got a full day of content planned, and so we are bringing back our incredible photographer who is the photographer behind Jenna Kutcher's brand, and she's going to be taking brand photos. Her name is Jordan Quinn, and she is incredible. She's been featured in so many publications. She shot for Lululemon, Seahawks. I mean, her list is incredible. So she's going to be there. And then the second day is going to be all ad strategy, an ad intensive work day. So we're going to have a full day to bring your laptops, and we're going to do it a little bit different than our previous retreat, and we're going to have some homework leading up to it so that when we sit down on our work day, that we're getting some stuff done and you can leave feeling really confident about your ads. So it's going to be, and the house is epic. Like, I searched for weeks for that house, and it is, it's beautiful.
Well, what was cool was, like, when we were there, yes, we had Jordan, and yes, we had can you remind me?
Workplay branding.
Yeah, they did all of our video, but then we were all shooting content for each other too. Yeah. And so I walked away with so much content, like, yes, for ads, but I've been using it like crazy. And honestly, like, that stuff is doing so much better than anything else I've had up to now. So amazing. We just, I mean, it's so, and then honestly, like, the conversations and the connections are incredible.
Like the women in the space. Yeah. And then everything else is included. You've got meals planned. Like, everything will be taken care of. So come hang out for 3 days, get everything you need, make some amazing connections. And I even, like, I know after, I mean, people are working together. Like, some people have come into Dustin's space. Like, people are crossing over to hire people for messaging or for help.
We have a little mastermind of our own. On that side, there's a few of us that are.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
It's not mastermind. It's like an accountability group. Like,
I love that.
Few of us that were like, we really need to make some moves, and so we have an accountability group having us continue to make the moves while,
all from that. Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Yeah. So, and that's the beginning. I mean, we've got 8 months still before December, so we'll have a lot to discuss by the time December comes.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited to see you and squeeze you in a few days and spend some time together, but this was incredible. Thank you for your insight. I love hearing about your pivot, and I love watching. I'm excited to continue watching you grow.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
And everybody, we will thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.